Last time on Toruna.
A torso with sockets where you think limbs might fit in.
Whatever this thing is, it appears to be incomplete. Perhaps some of those other stars we saw streaking down were the missing parts.
Missing requires replacement. Power will not be restored until replaced.
One question. Why are your hands shackled together?
I was, up until recently, enslaved, and they placed these shackles upon me.
The palanquin opens, and first of all, what comes out of it is sand. Wherever you go, we will find you. Our followers are everywhere. Whatever you do to the sand, like if you throw it away, it will come back to itself. You stand in the presence of Tokar himself.
I follow the light of the true sun, and soon it will return.
In the distance, a thunderclap.
It's scared of the weather.
We go east, find it as soon as possible.
Swaying in the breeze, the palm trees caress the sky. Seagulls sing the song of life, crashing on the shore. The waves fade into sea foam. This is where I call home.
We've got our crack team of podcasters. So it's like, I don't know whether we told the story before, but we were all like coming back into our flats individually after like a long day of work. Then Alistair was just sitting there on an armchair in the dark, and then he turned on like the lamp next to him, leaned forward, and said, "I'm here to tell you about the dunking on the DM initiative. Are you ready?"
We have the assassin, Tom, with his millimeter precise dunking abilities. We have Jack with his encyclopedic knowledge of all historical dunks that have taken place and like the rules of dunking. I'm trying to think of something else for the rest of you guys. Hang on.
I mean,
I'm struggling.
Kylie just has no filter with dunking on people. She's brutal.
She's the barbarian class.
Speaking
real
of,
life.
Kylie, have you been talking? Because we can't hear you.
I'm not in
Okay.
a social mood today. Fuck this. Get out, all of you. I hate people.
What?
Glad to hear we're all ready for a fun adventure.
Yeah.
Sarah was sleeping on the boat the whole time.
It's my birthday, so you have to be nice to me.
Yes.
That's the
Wait.
word. It's-
Fuck.
Wait,
Yeah,
was,
so-
was it not yesterday?
It's actually
Oh,
today.
happy birthday, you guys.
Yeah, but it's also Tim's birthday, so you have to be nice to him. So you should
Yeah.
give us all a level up.
Yeah, so Roll20 has this thing, whereas if it's like a player's birthday and they roll, it's always a crit, no matter what. So yeah,
Yeah, nice.
It says that in the player's handbook, yeah,
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure. But if it's the DM's birthday, all of the enemies' monsters crit every time they hit. So
And they also have little party hats on their sprites. We don't know
Oh,
where
yeah.
that comes from.
oh boy. So it's the second session. First of all, I think we should go around in a circle and just say your name, your character name, their race and class to help jog people's memory. We won't do this at the start of every session, but I think the first few ones will be good.
They'll slowly get you used to how we sound, hopefully. Alistair, you're the DM, I guess. Do you want to take the lead?
I am the DM. I am Alistair. I am all of the voices. I voice everyone who is not one of the player characters.
If I pay you,
That's
can
it.
you voice me too?
I don't think anyone else could play Zig-Zag. I think that's a role you were born to play.
Thank
Jack.
you, Alistair. So, speaking of, yes, I am Jack. I am going to be playing the character of Zig-Zag in this adventure. Yeah. Whilst I sound like this, he sounds a bit like this. So, we'll see.
Mhm. What's their racing class again? Just
Oh,
to
yes,
help jog
of
people's
course.
memory.
Zig-Zag is a goblin ranger, constantly accompanied by his pet and loyal steed, Red the Squig, which is a kind of... I always struggle with how to explain a squig to someone who has no idea what a squig looks like.
it's a living
Think-
space hopper.
It's a
living
space
space
hopper.
hopper.
It's a space hopper with teeth. Yes, that's a brilliant comparison.
So I think I should mention we're all level 2, because I don't think I mentioned that once last week. So, yeah, all level 2.
That will mean something to the people who know what D&D is. To anyone else, just nod your
Don't
head.
worry about it. Just nod your head. Go along with it. Okay, so, Kylie, how about you next?
Yes, I play Serra, and she is a Triton who washed off ashore. And is a bard and does bard things.
Cool. Tim.
Hello, I am Tim. I don't know why I'm doing that. I'm Tim. I am playing Adamas, who is a level 2 human monk.
Cool.
And also an asshole.
He's a bit of a dick, yeah.
Yeah, the edgy character.
We're all assholes here. It's okay.
Yeah. And yeah.
Is Erodius an asshole? I don't think so. He seems
Actually,
quite
I
a
guess
pleasant fellow.
he's kind of mellow. And yeah,
Hmm.
so I'm Tom. I'm playing Erodius, the Naga barbarian.
We have quite the eclectic bunch of characters on a boat, and they are sailing towards the volcanoes in the east. So they have just escaped the followers of Shiva, a religious cult who believe in the creator deity Tokar, and they are travelling in a storm. So does anyone want to help me set the scene? I don't think you're in a particularly large boat. I think you might be pretty cramped together. You're in Adamas's boat, in fact, and the waves are getting choppier and choppier. The wind's picking up. The rain is quite heavy now.
So, whilst Red has the capacity to swim alongside the boat, I imagine Zig-Zag has gotten him up on the boat to rest and shelter from the storm. And this is probably, now that they're in relative safety and comfort, this is probably the first time you've seen him dismount Red. And he's just sort of sitting beside him, not walking around by himself, it seems. But they're just sort of huddled together out of the cold. And he'll probably speak up and say, "So, what exactly is the plan again?"
So at this point, Adamas will probably ignore you. He is at the front of the boat, and he is meditating. No thoughts, head empty. Just imagine a monk meditating. That's what it looks like on the sort of prow of the boat. I don't know nautical terms. I should have maybe looked things up, but he's at the front, cross-legged. His eyes are closed, and he is reciting a prayer. He's saying under his breath, and if anyone is listening intentionally, they might hear, "True Son, forgive. True Son, return to us. The light of revelation will come again. Silent will be the earth. Flesh will fail. Our life made anew." And yeah, he's just doing that as the rain's falling, and he's happy. He's vibing.
"What? I didn't hear you."
Then he's very
What's our plan?
annoyed. We go east. We find the other falling star there. What more do you want to know?
Yeah, lots happened. I was just kind of wanting to make sure I knew. We're going east. Okay. If that's what boss wants. And I look over to Erodius.
Yes, we should try to gather the pieces as fast as we can before Shiva's people get to them.
Adamas.
Helpful tip for travelling in a storm. Find shelter immediately. Mac lights up.
The direction they're going, is it like more into the storm, or is it away from it?
There's not like an eye of the storm, there's not like a tornado sort of situation, but it's grey as far as you can see. But you look ahead, and it looks like it's not getting any better. In fact, perception check?
I love to perceive, it's my favourite thing.
12.
Serra? Okay. So, 22 on their perception. Erodius got a 12. Zig-Zag got a 15. And Adamas botched.
The woke left have infiltrated Roll20 on my birthday just to spite me, and they have made me botch.
To be fair, I
So-
feel like given the fact that Adamas was focused on his prayer and in
Yeah,
meditation,
and
he may
no
not
thoughts,
have been.
head empty. Yeah,
Yeah.
he's yeah, he thinks it will just be fine.
So, you succeed as a group because 2 of you passed. That's how I'm going to do group rolls. But, how is this bot going to work out? I know.
He
make a
falls into the
dexterity
sea.
saving throw, Adamas.
Oh no.
Yeah,
Suddenly, a wave.
12.
That's
that
a
is.
12? Yeah, I think you're thrown to the side of the boat, but you can just about cling on to the end.
Yeah,
You're like hanging off the side.
he's very annoyed at being interrupted like this, and then he might start listening to the fact shelter. Might be a good idea. Is there
Is
any-
is Adamas okay? Is he able to cling on, or is he in danger right now of falling off?
So he obviously can't hang on indefinitely. He does not have infinite strength. Do you help him?
Oh,
I think this is a question for all of you lot.
The weird one's gone. Go get him, Red. And I like command Red to like squiggle over to the edge of the boat. He's got like tentacles and try and pull him up. I think if Adamas will accept the help of this weird creature.
he'll like look at you for a second and be like reluctantly, yeah, accept your help.
Red is probably very brutish and will probably just like grab you in his massive jaws and hurl you back onto the boat very unceremoniously. All this time, Zig-Zag has just stayed where he was sitting, sort of like slumped to the side. Now he's no longer supported by Red.
You strange beast. And then just gonna look out. We should listen to the messenger. Is there shelter nearby we can see? And
So, with the perception checks you made earlier, I think you cannot see any shelter. However, Serra is the one that can see a giant wave heading toward you, taller than the boat.
Oh no.
What do you
Oh
do?
no.
You have a short amount of time to prepare because you saw this coming.
Zig-Zag quickly ushers Red back to him and probably climbs atop him once again. He's not very stable without him. Beans, you better have some ideas as to how to avoid waves.
I would recommend a surfboard.
I don't suppose you got one of them in your jar body.
I do not, regrettably.
how quickly?
Every
can
grot for himself.
How quickly can we turn the boat around and try like going in the direction the wave is going, so the impact is lessened?
So you all have proficiency in sailing. So I think if one of you makes a sailing check, that would be your dexterity plus proficiency. Obviously, some of you may have abilities to help boost with dice rolls. Cough, cough, bards. So it'll be, a dex plus proficiency check from one of you.
Okay, yes, I will use my inspiration.
Yes, I think Adamas would be the one too. He'd like he would have only bought like a few like food supplies he needed on his journey and make sure that's all tied down. And yeah, try to maneuver the boat away from the waves. So just straight dexterity.
Plus
Is that-
proficiency.
Plus my inspiration if you want to use it. Okay, you get a d6 on top of that. And
Okay,
So that was a 13. My proficiency bonus is 2.
so that's a 13 plus 2 plus
Wow.
6. So that's a 21. So with the help of Serra playing her conch shell,
Adamas is like, yeah, I love this song.
he's just jamming along. I think you managed to quickly change course and avoid the worst of this giant wave. But you can't escape it completely, but you are prepared, and water does valuable.
Oh no. Not bad, Spooks. Where'd you learn to sail like that?
Adamas doesn't realise he's talking to him. So he's just going to stay silent.
Fine, ignore me then.
Oh, yeah.
We are going the wrong way now, of course.
He is going to slowly turn around the way they're meant to go. If there aren't any very large waves anymore coming.
Yep, it looks clearer from now on.
cool. And then, yeah, he's just going to sit himself back where he was. And, yeah, no thoughts, head empty. Keep going.
Mm-hmm.
Is that going to keep happening then if we want to avoid those Tokar people? If we got to sail in the storms? Maybe that's why they didn't want to follow us, because they don't know how to ride a wave like that.
Yes, it's certainly an unusual storm, not one I've seen before.
Maybe, next time it comes, we should just tie ourselves all down to the boat and ride right through it.
I would not recommend that.
I mean, we can't get thrown off the boat if we tie it down, right?
No, but you don't know where you end up.
Well, on the boat.
I mean, you don't know where you and the boat that you're strapped to will end up.
Oh, I see. Probably in the water.
Yes, probably. Sarah's just been looking slightly sad the entire time.
Oh.
And is sort of gazing out towards the storms and the waves.
So I think you have about a day's travel, and as I always say in my campaigns, travelling time is talking time. We do have a strange bunch of people. We have the goblin who's always on, this sentient space hopper with teeth, this sad-looking fish person, this prayer-reciting monk, and this snake person in chains. So, yeah, if you want to talk about stuff, then, yeah, now's the time. It looks like the water's getting calmer, and maybe in the distance you spot a sliver of blue sky.
Okay, Sarah's going to visibly pull herself together and go up to Squig and be like, so that's a rather strange looking pet you have there.
Oh yeah, I'd be careful. He does like to bite if you're not too friendly around him. He's very protective, see? But if you're slow and you're really careful, he might only bite half your hand off.
I'll take the word for that. I'll just admire from a distance. Is he a pet of yours then?
We're more like, we work together. Yeah.
Huh.
I mean, he handles all the eating, and I handle all the tracking, and we're all we got, I guess. When we ain't got a crew, and I mean now we do have a crew, but when we ain't got a crew, we stick together, watch each other's backs, and survive. It's been that way for a long time now.
Sounds like a good team. I used to have a few pets back when I was a child. There was a sea sponge who we called SpongeBob, and we had a pink starfish we called Patrick. They
can't do
were
this.
such a great pet.
No.
What have you done?
I hear lawyers knocking on my door
You
right
can
now.
take
Oh
them
god.
out.
I think, as you say this, I think it's fair to say at this point, Red might be getting a bit hungry.
Yeah.
I think it makes sense if he will start like gnashing his teeth. Making hungry sounds.
Speaking of, you don't happen to have those fish to hand, do you? Red's been a little while without a proper meal.
Oh, give me a sec. Could I dive in the water, catch some fish, and then
Yeah,
jump back
I love
up?
it.
I'm surprised you're okay with that, to be honest.
Oh, well, you heard me last time. Like, every time I use them to help me, I'm like, I swear off all sea life. But obviously she keeps caving because they're delicious.
It's a fish eat fish world.
What is it? Survival to like catch them?
So I almost thought like you didn't have to roll for this because I just like that.
Well, you got like the
just like
speak
that as a
with
counter moment.
the speak with fish.
Yeah,
one.
but I'm not going to be like, come
Convinced
here,
them-
fishies. We're totally not going to eat you or feed you to this.
Well,
thing.
I think that's the question. Like, because if that's not the case, Red could probably hunt for himself. But I thought you were implying you were gonna like lure some fish in with your lies.
Oh no.
Fair.
Okay.
I
So if you want to roll survival to see like how big a catch you get, like maybe you catch a big fish, maybe only catch a small one. But I think you are good enough at swimming. It is the ocean is where you live that you can catch something. So you guys are not going to be like wanting for food most of the time if you have Serra with you.
Or Red, who
Nice.
can. Although would Red even share with the group?
Red would eat everything
right.
he catches.
Okay.
Um,
All right.
Zig-Zag is also pretty good at catching his own food, but generally more on land
Yeah.
than on sea.
Yeah.
Oh, I just called you the wrong name. I realised. Right.
Well, if you've been getting Red and Zig-Zag the wrong way around, sorry. It's,
Well, I think I called you
it's
Squig, which is
confusing.
what Red actually is.
Oh, squig. Red is a squig. That's the type of creature,
Right.
but that's fine.
Yeah, honestly, I could
Call him
just
whatever.
phase it out. Alright, I'm like, alright guys, breakfast coming up. Look at the bright side, guys. Was it survival?
Oh,
Right.
Well,
So I think maybe it's a couple of small sardines or a couple of small tuna, and red looks like. Really? Is that it?
hey, look, it's a tough life out here, guys. It's a fish eat fish world.
Red will probably eat all of it. I hope no one else was wanting any because, yeah, given that it's such a small catch, Red would just probably go to town on the deck of the ship, devouring it very messily. It would probably only take him a few seconds.
I do not need to eat. I eat sunlight.
Tell me, Beans, why you speak funny like that?
My mammary cores must be corrupted. Some of them are contained within my legs and arms.
Boss, you're smart. You work out what he's saying?
He seems to be implying that his brain is stored all around his body, and parts of it is missing.
Like an octopus.
Messenger, what do you remember?
Octopuses have brains? I thought only people had brains.
I don't actually know if that's true about octopuses. Now it is in this world.
I think it is. I think you're
I
entirely
think it
right.
is.
Yeah. Or is it starfish?
Adamas
It's one of
asked
the two.
one of those. Adamas, what did you say?
Messenger, what do you remember?
I remember travelling for years at a speed of. My functions were to.
I love this immersive audio theatre. Yeah, no, he's just gonna get back to brooding silently.
I don't know how you get what he's saying, to be honest. It's all troll to me.
You gotta do the fetch quests.
Yeah, gather the pieces.
So you said we'll be travelling for like a day.
Yep. Yeah, feel free to long rest.
Oh yeah.
As a DM, I'm pretty generous with my long rests, I've realised. But who knows, you might have quite a task ahead of you trying to find it amongst the volcanoes.
Honestly, yeah, I didn't actually lose anything from the previous encounter. I still have all my resources, unless you count my arrow that it flew away with.
I'll take that long rest. I'm out of budget
Mm.
inspiration.
Yeah, it's getting brighter. The seas are calmer. And in Toruna, it seems to be always windy. And this is not unusual to any of you, because this is where you all grew up. Except maybe Serra, who grew up maybe beneath the sea. But very high winds allow you to travel pretty quickly. I'm not going to map out like the exact geography, like how far everything away is, because I don't think it matters. But I think after your day or so of travelling, islands in the distance.
So, this was supposed to be a very volcanic area, am I right?
Yes.
So these islands reflect that.
So, what you see is, as you get closer to it, a crescent shape formed by a series of relatively small islands. They are in various states of volcanic eruption. Some of them seem to be dead, dormant. Some of them you see clouds billowing out of. And I think one of them glows orange as magma pours out. But in the center of the crescent, like as if you were drawing an eye and a pupil, is another island. And I think it's hard to make out from a distance, but it looks very cloudy. And below the clouds, a series of stone pillars like huge trees. And I think you can see above the clouds surrounding this island, you can see these stone pillars peeking out at the top.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I think it's obvious to you that if anyone saw what happened to this fallen piece, it might have been someone who lived at the top.
Huh. The cloud formations all around the island, do they look unnatural? Like, is it just localized around that one island?
It seems to be unique to this island. So I think history check
Sure thing.
to know about this place.
For some reason, even with my terrible intelligence, I somehow do well on
Same.
history.
Wow. Okay, so 16 from Zig-Zag, 11 from Adamas, 5 from Serra, and 14 from Erodius. Again, Zig-Zag and Erodius seem to be the more knowledgeable. Overall, you do pass, and you know this place is known as Upwind Island. And it is formed of a massive basin of steam continuously rising above the ground, and embedded within it are huge stone pillars, and the rising steam is what forms the clouds you can see.
The orc shaman at my old camp used to say that it was like that because beneath there's this feast of all the orcs who've died in battle, and you know, when you're feasting constantly and forever, you get very gassy.
I knew where it was going.
Incredible. Your insight never ceases to amaze me, Zig-Zag.
I don't go in for much of that afterlife stuff, but the orcs seem to be quite a fan of it.
Sarah's like, no, I think that actually makes sense, you know. I believe you,
You
Zig-Zag.
believe the shaman.
Yeah. I mean, he's right. It kind of makes sense. It's kind of logical.
Maybe we'll be able to tell when it gets closer. Like, orcs have a very distinctive smell.
So I think you also know, with your good check, that people do live here. So I think what you consider your best plan of action might just be to ask someone.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess.
Do they only live on the central island, or the ring of islands around it, are they inhabited as well?
You're not sure, quite possibly.
Okay.
Yeah, for Adamas, it does slightly remind him of his own home island, because there they have like quite a lot of tall stone structures to basically provide shadows, even like during daytime. So yeah, there must be like similar effect created with the really tall stone pillars where he can see.
Yeah, I hadn't actually considered that. Yeah, I think during sunrise and sunset they just cast long shadows over the surrounding islands. Almost like a sundial, I guess. Yeah. This is interactive real-time world building we're doing here.
Nice.
Guess we make for the tower.
I think it becomes clearer as you get closer that people probably do live on the other islands. There are a few boats around, like, people live on these volcanic islands, for better or worse. But you head towards Upwind Island.
Yeah.
As you get closer, I think it gets warmer as you approach what is a single massive steam vent.
How does it smell?
I'm tempted to say. So the smell that immediately jumped to mind was like, okay, volcanic area, like high danger, sulfury, but I'm not sure that's true. Okay, so I think you can moor your boat.
Yeah, so how big is this place, this settlement we're talking? Is it just like a small like fishing town, or is it a whole city-sized area?
I think maybe it's about large village-sized, but people do not live on the ground.
Oh, interesting.
It looks like. As you moor your boat and walk your way on shore, the only features are the pillars rising out of the steam vents.
So there's like no one around when like on surface level to ask.
Yep.
Don't suppose any of you know how to fly or climb?
Unfortunately not.
I've been trying to teach myself, but it's very hard.
He's gonna check as well any like signs of life down here, like if anyone has been here before, if there are any ways of getting up, like if he looks up from the ground, what does he see?
If you look up from the ground, you see clouds above you, just swirling air, constantly swirling, fed by the steam vent. I think to try and figure out what's going on with the people who might live here, I think survival.
I love to survive. I love to botch as well, apparently.
That's a bot. It's Roll20's birthday present to Tim. So, what I propose
A
is
large
this.
rock falls on his head, he dies, rolling your character.
No. What I propose is this. You try and reach the edge of the steam vent. Like, maybe you just want a better look.
Yeah.
And I don't think you're expected to be so windy.
Mm.
And Adamas is thrust up into the air.
Why didn't you tell us you could fly? I asked. Does he just keep
Yeah,
going
you-
up?
Yeah, like, is it going high?
So yeah, this sort of reacting in bullet time, but he is first, I think a few feet, well, more than a few feet, maybe a couple of dozen feet And I think because he's not used to this, he's not balanced. He like turns in the air. He's like rotating, and he's like being pushed around by the rising steam and the wind.
His robes are like flapping everywhere. It's not very
flapping.
dignified.
It is the opposite.
Is there anything under the robe? Or...
A love for the twin sun.
Yeah, it's
that's
a
what's under
Marilyn
the
Monroe
robes.
sort of like vibe.
It's this world version of a kilt.
Like trying to hold the ropes down. Yeah, are they?
We're not answering this. This is the mystery left for the reader.
You're gonna get bonked, Kylie.
No, I just want a good Marilyn Monroe moment for Adamas. He clearly has personality for it.
I should get him to teach me how to fly when he gets back down.
Are we gonna have to catch him?
Like,
Yeah,
I
but
haven't
you
had the
two
training
can
or
fly.
anything like that. You gotta.
Do you want me to throw you in there?
What?
No, look at me. Don't look, and I'll just shove. I'll just like pick up. Wait, can I pick up a goblin? How about
Okay, okay, yes.
What they're
Okay,
pretty
so you
small.
pick him up off of Red, do you? Because he's currently riding atop Red. Whoa.
Yeah, I pick it up and I look at it and I'm like, you gotta go for what you want,
I
like, no
imagine
hesitation,
Red had
no
acted very
doubts,
averse to
just
this,
go.
but it's too
And I'm
late,
like,
and you've
throw
already
it.
yeeted him into the air current. Red would probably go to like bite at your leg or something like that in like panic for his companion.
Yeah, air current is the word I was thinking of. I'm glad you said it out loud, Jack, because my brain is bad. Yeah, so now there are two of you. The situation has got worse.
So what?
You
We
are-
get lifted up, what, 10, 20, 30 feet and just sort of like
Yeah.
stay hovering there?
You're oscillating up and down, you're tumbling, you're rotating.
What?
How does it feel
What?
to fly?
I know that Adamas is trying not to like shout. He's just doing witcher grunts all the time. Like, fuck.
Zig-Zag probably throws up.
Oh, wonderful.
The
Oh,
half a
no.
fish that he ate on the way on the ride over.
Does the sick like swell within the air vent and also land on Adamas as well?
It's probably not very dignified, no.
Trying to see if there's anything I can do, but I've got Step of the Wind, but that's like for disengaging or dashing. I don't think that will really apply.
If I throw up some rope, will it also float so they can grab it and come back down?
Yeah, Step of the Wind does like improve your ability to maneuver on difficult terrain, but I think this might be going beyond difficult terrain.
I think that counts.
Okay,
I love
yeah,
that.
nice.
So I think what happens is that. So do you do this, Adamas? Do you spend a key point? You Step of the Wind? Like I feel like Step of the Wind is a very appropriate name because you're literally amongst the wind.
Sure. So yeah, I could spend a key point to disengage or dash as a bonus action. Yeah.
So I think we're reflavoring this. Yeah, don't worry about what it mechanically actually does.
Oh, it's jump distance. I've misremembered that. Well, yeah, I think that's still cool.
I think you hear a voice. Yeah, you're getting it. Don't worry, little buddy. Lots of people throw up on the first time. And you see a flash of red and white. And I am going to put an image in the Roll20
Oh my
of the
God.
figure you see gliding around the air currents. There it is.
Yes!
Look at that boy.
I love whatever that is. I love it.
So this is a red and white flying squirrel. His arms and legs are outstretched, and he is a pancake. His skin is stretched thin so that he can glide, and he is expertly maneuvering, weaving his way between Adamas and Zig-Zag. Stretch out your arms, little man.
What?
You got this.
Who are you?
Zig-Zag would probably stretch out his arms to try and grab hold of Adamas's cloak to try and gain some control.
No.
Get off.
Take my hand. I'll show you.
Ah! Where'd you come from? What is this?
I live here.
Ah!
I come from up.
I think I'm already sick of going up and throwing up.
Okay.
He'd
Okay.
probably still reach out, like one hand still grabbing Adamas's cloak, but the other reaching out towards this squirrel thing.
Yeah, so this squirrel person, I think, takes your hand and is like, okay, you can let go of his robes. I'll guide you
I
down.
don't want to, I'm scared.
Come on, it'll be easy. You gotta. The trick is not to land all at once.
What? In his confusion, Zig-Zag probably lets go of Adamas at this point. Adamas.
Yeah. So
What does that mean?
this this squirrel person is gonna like maneuver his quote unquote wings so that he dips down slightly, and you are going to spiral in circles slowly downwards.
The ground's getting close real fast.
Don't worry about it. I live here. I've done this for years.
Ah,
Although if you fall in, you're dead. So don't do that.
Adamas
Fall
is
in!
just trying to float to the ground and regain as much dignity as possible.
So do you want to roll dexterity with advantage, Tim, after using your step of the wind?
Sure thing.
oh my god.
That was only
That's a
9.
9. So a 9 is not death territory. But I think 9 is a nasty tumble territory. And so I'm going to roll a couple of d6s. That's 11 damage you take. That's a lot.
That's a lot.
Tim.
That is 11.
As you tumble
that is most
ungracefully.
of my hit points.
I'm guessing you don't have the reduced fall damage thing that monks get yet. That's a later thing, right?
Yes, it is a later thing, unfortunately. So, I
Okay.
guess it's just his head smacks into a rock.
Oh, man.
Oof, ouch. Don't worry, I've been there. I've got scars and bruises, but you'll learn.
And just gonna clutch the side of his head for a couple of seconds with it.
From the perspective of Erodius and Serra, your two companions, just one of them glides gracefully down in the hands of the squirrel, the other just head first,
I'll
smack.
walk up to Adamas and say, maybe that head bash will knock some sense into you.
He's gonna just give you the evils.
I'll just snark at him and then
Be
walk off.
quiet, girl.
Slightly concussed evil stare.
Yeah, just 1,000-yard stare. But
So does
yeah,
Zig-Zag get glided down gracefully?
Yep.
Okay. He probably, upon reaching the ground, definitely fucks up the landing because he can't really
Yeah,
bend his knees.
I think the squirrel says, yeah, try and get your legs in the right position and then do a roll.
There might be a little bit of a problem with that, and then eventually just hits
What?
the ground. Yeah, his very clear. His legs like crumple underneath him, with him unable to support himself, and he just hits the ground and rolls a couple of feet before coming to a stop.
Oh god, I'm so sorry, buddy. Are you okay?
It's not the first time I've fallen that far. I imagine Red gallops Red's still got his squid tentacle form, so he sort of flumps over to him and sort of tries to heft him up in a very supportive support animal sort of way.
Yeah.
Ow! What is that? How you get around this place?
Yeah.
It seems very painful.
You learn, you know? It's like, Alistair was about to say riding a bike, but that doesn't exist. It's like swimming.
I'm not really that good at that either. Red is. I kind of rely on him.
Well, my name's Jet. You can tell my parents weren't very creative.
So, just to clarify, this isn't an anthropomorphized red-winged squirrel. This is just a red-winged squirrel, is it?
So, it's a small human-sized squirrel. Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
He's wearing clothes. He has clothes.
Oh, interesting.
He
Okay.
has stuff on him.
So it is a
Yeah,
bit
it's not an animal.
anthropomorphized, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. What's Erodius doing throughout all of this?
He's just watching in amusement mostly at the goings on. I guess I'd ask, so is this the only way to get up there?
Yeah, and it might be a bit tricky for you if you're in those
Yeah, so
chains.
I was going to say.
And your red friend, he might be a bit too round.
Well, is there not another way up? I don't know, have you built stairs into these things? He gestures to the pillars. That
Nope.
seems like that would be sensible.
I mean, you could try. Anyone who tries would probably be dead. Difficult to engineer. Above a hot steam vent, I think. Yeah. Anyway, the boss doesn't want it, so we're perfectly happy.
The boss?
Oh yeah, Nova. He lives at the top. He knows everything around here.
Could this Nova tell us about a falling star you might have seen?
Yeah, if there was a fallen star, you'd see it.
Where?
And no, you'd have to ask him.
Would you be able to bring him down here, perhaps, for us less vertically abled?
About that, he doesn't like coming down.
Oh, and why's that?
He's a bit of a scaredy squirrel.
Alright, that's alright then. We'll just have to go up to him.
Yeah. Look. Yeah. This one's almost already got wings. Look at those flappers. I bet you
I
could do it real
flex my
easy.
arms, and I'm like, yeah, show me how.
Yeah. All right. So little goblin man, what should I call you? And he looks towards Adamas as well.
I'm Zig-Zag.
Nice to meet you.
This is Red, and I gesture to Red.
He's cute. He says, looking terrified.
He'll eat your arm if you're not careful, so maybe keep your distance. I think you need your arm to fly, right?
Yes, definitely. Would recommend. Would recommend having stretchy skin as well, but that's just us. Evolution and all that. What's evolution? I'm a genius.
So I've realised Adamas hasn't told his name to anyone else yet.
No, I've just been
I
calling you
don't believe
Spooks.
Yeah, as player characters, like you know the name, but it's just in character.
Yeah.
You might not. So he's just going to look at Jet and say, "You don't need to know.
I call him Spooks.
Is there any way I can get up there without killing myself?"
I mean, yeah, I'll just show you. Takes a bit of practice.
But what about Boss? We're not going anywhere without Boss. How do we get him up?
That might be a bit tricky. Is he going to be okay? I mean, you can stick together with the round fella.
Perhaps there might be some sort of kite or chute I could use as an aid.
A what now?
Like some kind of large fabric construction.
The camera pulls back to the boat and the sand.
Excellent. I shall move to the boat and see if I can't sort of turn the sail into some kind of kite.
Oh, that's an idea, Boss. What, you're gonna take the sail and you're gonna put it on the pillar and climb up?
What?
Am I wrong?
That's me, Alistair.
You're gonna, throw the sail up. And you're gonna climb it. As it's going up.
I have no idea what you're talking about, Zig-Zag.
I think he's trying to describe the idea of just something with a high service area being carried up in the air current, but he does not have the vocabulary.
I'll trust you know what you're doing, Boss. Do you need any help rigging it?
Do I think I need help rigging it? I don't know how difficult this is going to be.
I mean,
So I'm wondering.
Adamas is going to not want you to tamper with the boat. I'm just putting that out there.
Alright then. Are you going to be able to stop me once you've left me behind here?
Listen, Spooks. Boss is coming with us. He does all the talky good. And we're going to need a lot of good talky if we're going to need to find out where this thing fell. Unless you want to do the talking.
Yeah.
I suggest myself and the guard go up there alone. We do not need to damage our own.
I don't want to be
individual
alone with this guy.
transport. I feel bad.
Stop referring to me as girl. It's rude. I have a name.
I mean, that's what he proposes.
I'm sensing a lot of tension here. Should I leave and come back?
Would that help?
I don't know.
No, just show us.
I'm just trying to fill the silence.
Very well. If you feel that you are capable enough, then I shall concede this once.
I look at Zig-Zag and Erodius pleadingly, please don't leave me alone with the creepy guy in robes.
You should be
Just
lucky,
runs
Spooks.
as fuck.
Boss is trusting you here. You better not mess this up.
Yes, he seems to believe he can handle himself. Let's give him an opportunity to prove that.
Is no one gonna come up with me?
If Red
Yeah,
stays,
so-
if Red stays,
Please,
if Boss
anyone?
stays, I'm staying.
I think the point is that they can't because one's in chains and the other can't go without Squig.
Unless you want to carry me.
Alright, so I'll happily carry Red, just literally anyone. Not Red, sorry, Zig-Zag.
So Zig-Zag does not need Red here.
Yeah, I don't. But once I get up
Yeah.
there, I would probably need someone to carry me around. Unless I'm going to crawl
Oh, you
everywhere.
can get a piggyback. No, you can get a piggyback with me. And I
But
turn to
no,
Adamas.
Zig-Zag
I
is loyal
say,
to Erodius, so he's going to stay here.
right, so resigned, I turn to Adamas and say, let me do the talking, yeah. I don't want you walking up and being all I demand you tell me where the star fell. or I'll murder you, or whatever the hell you guys
That was
do,
a pretty good
friends.
impression of you, Spooks. She's got you down.
Adamas has a deep burning hatred for your.
And cut the deep bound and hatred stab, please. It's not very personable, alright?
He looks at Sarah and says, "If you think you can handle it," and then he's going to turn to Jet and say, "Show us how to get up there."
Okay.
Remember, once we're up there, no talking from you.
Everybody hold hands. I imagine there's an awkward silence.
I can't expect like a really shriveled up, like black, twisted hand to like sneak out of Adamas's robes, but what do I actually see? Oh, is he wearing gloves?
A normal human hand.
It's a normal
Oh,
human.
okay.
Just a guy.
I'm like,
I think
I'm just a
very
man.
Wait.
pale.
whatever's
Very
wrong with
pale,
you.
definitely.
Is it contagious? If I touch you, am I going to start turning into something like you?
What? What?
Your grouchiness,
Wait,
your
what?
general demeanour. That's not contagious,
He's
right?
just like this.
You don't have some
he's
sort of
just like
disease,
this.
do you? And like
He just like
Wow, Sarah does not pull up punches.
and I just stare at him, and I grab his hand tentatively.
So I'm taking bets on who's going to kill the other one first.
So it's as easy as stretching out your arms and legs, make yourself as big as possible, and fall in.
I,
You ready?
yeah, we good.
3,
uh,
2, 1, and then he leads you to jump over the edge of the steam vent.
Oh, Adamas has silently screaming.
Sarah is non-silently screaming.
So, since you did join hands, Serra and Adamas can both roll dex, and we'll take the higher one.
Ooh.
Straight decks.
Straight dex.
Does
Yeah.
Jack of all trades apply to straight rolls or not?
Actually, no. Do you think this might be athletics or acrobatics? Actually, acrobatics, I think, would definitely be applicable here if you have proficiency in that.
I
But
don't.
you might not.
But I think your jack of all trades applies anyway.
I mean, my acrobatics was a 16.
Okay. So that's 2 16s from acrobatics. So surprisingly in sync. So yeah, you rise up, and Jet says, "We'll take a rest on this pillar for a minute." And you can see that the series of pillars. Well, there are a lot of pillars going up different heights, so you can basically take pit stops on your way to the top. And as you go further, you can see other gliding people. Bats, other type of gliders, flying squirrels, all kind of winged mammals live here. And you can see they attach themselves to the side of the pillars and seem to gnaw on the lichen that grows there. And some of them have small, like, dwellings they've built on top of the pillars. Some of them have burrowed holes into the sides and basically live in these small caves. There seems to be a society here just floating around.
Sounds like the Air Nova Society around.
It's like that, but they're cute animals.
Adamas is
Hey, Avatar's cute.
Adamas is very much out of his depth because he's just
Yeah.
lived on like pretty much all his life on the same island that is very much ground level.
Yeah. So the party is split. I am more than happy with this. We will cut back to Erodius and Zig-Zag soonish.
No problem.
Cool.
But Jet says, "It'll take a little while, but you're doing well. I'll take you straight to Nova." You continue, hopping pillars as you ascend, riding the air cones.
I love this, by the way. The whole air vent pillar thing is it's absolutely great.
I think I was just playing Breath of the Wild.
Oh,
and
right.
you get an ability called like Rivali's Wind, and you just launch yourself into the air with like an air cone. I'm like, hang on.
That squirrel is adorable.
I had a great time looking up like gliding mammals.
What was
Just
its
the
full
best
name?
time. I think the red and white flying squirrel. Let me double check that.
Oh my god. I love it.
Yeah, red and white giant flying squirrel, I think is the full name.
Those pictures of flying squirrels in flight, though, do kind of like look like flashes.
Like what?
Flashes. Like people flashing.
Oh, I see. Yeah, just like
I love how Alistair's campaigns are like an exercise in how many weird and wonderful animals can I fit in, and the answer is always many.
if I do a campaign and there are no like cute animals, I am being held hostage and doing it against my will. So Adamas and Serra, you eventually make your way to the top of Upwind Island, and I am going to put another picture in Roll20 as you meet Nova.
Oh my god, what is that? I want it.
This
I want
might be
him.
one of my favourite animals I've discovered
Him,
doing
wow.
research for D&D. So you see what is known in the real meat space Earth as a greater glider. Very fluffy, like grey and white, very large ears, big old whiskers,
I cannot emphasize enough how large its ears are.
a very long fluffy tail. And this figure is sitting on top of the highest pillar, I think, eyes closed, like in the typical meditation stance. And I think before you reach him, Jet says, he's wary of outsiders, but some say he's magic and can see the future, and he knows a lot of stuff. Just, don't try not to provoke him.
We'll see how much he knows.
Sure. Do we bow when we meet him? I don't know the customs here.
Yeah, do that.
Turn to Adamas, and I'm like, bow, Adamas,
Adamas
bow.
will not bow.
Yeah, so
yeah.
do you?
Jet told us to. I'm gonna take his word for it.
So you do, and Jet giggles.
I look at her and I'm like, you tricked us! You prankster!
And Nova says, "Oh, hello. Who are you?"
Hey, we're from one of the other islands, around the area. We were wondering, if a shooting star fell here, and if you could point us towards where it landed.
A shooting star. I was about to send a party myself to find this. Yes, I think I know where it is. I think I saw it.
Where?
I just make the cut-in motion of my hand against my mouth at Adama.
Well, I want to make sure that you aren't going to work against me. There are spies everywhere. Foreigners sailing the waters.
And what could I possibly have against you?
You might have heard tales of wise men, local experts, magicians, going missing from all over the lands, and I don't want to join them.
Can I do a history check to see if I know about any of this stuff he's spouting off?
I think an insight check would be the most appropriate here.
Okay, alright. Yeah.
I love
Pop
to
an
insight. 8. No.
Roll 20 is dicking you over though.
Serra gets 22, and he looks rightfully worried. He definitely seems to know this. Like, to him, this is a fact.
Okay. I'll just say, look, I've honestly, it's the first time I've heard of this, and we're definitely not here to kidnap anyone. We just want to look into that star. Can you tell me more about what's been going on with all this, all these magicians going missing?
If I actually left here, then I might know more. I was hoping some foreigners like you would be able to tell me.
And like I said, it's the first I've heard of it.
And in exchange?
There is a problem. You see the volcanoes, and he points out towards the crescent shape of the formation of islands. It doesn't actually take a genius to figure out that one there, and he points to a specific one. I think that one's going to erupt soon. You see, there's a pattern. I don't know why, I don't know how exactly. But 3 years ago, points to an island, boom, it went up. 2 years ago, point to the island to the right, boom. 1 year ago, well, you see, that one's next. And the people who live there do not want to move. As far as I can tell from here, they're some sort of mud dwellers. But they won't listen to us. Maybe they'll listen to foreigners such as yourselves.
That actually makes zero sense. But I'll turn to him and say, and if you get him to move, could you take us to the star? Please.
Sure. Yes, you have my word. Jet, go with them. Make sure they aren't plotting anything untowards. And he salutes and says, "Yes, boss."
Adamas is
Hey, come on. Do I really look like I have the capacity to plot anything? I mean, maybe this guy.
Adamas is
And I can't say
gritting
right.
his teeth at being asked to help other people. It's not that. Could he? Yeah, and he's like, it's probably not a good idea to threaten the information out of him. So yeah, he'll just stay grimly silent.
I mean, do it if you want to.
No, yeah, I mean he's on his own. He can't. So
I recognise that it might have been difficult for you to get up here. And then he
pointing to Adamas' still bleeding head.
Indicates for Red to get closer, and he whispers in Jet's ears, and then says to you, Jet now knows where it is. If you accomplish the task, he'll take you straight there.
Cool. It's a deal then.
He scoops up some lichen from the ground and shoves it in his face. He is definitely the biggest and fattest flying mammal you have seen on Upwind Island.
He is so large. I love him.
He is very... So I think the picture I provided of this greater glider makes it look larger than it is, but
Someone has shampooed that glider.
someone has.
Is wonderful.
That greater glider's had a manicure, they've had a spa day, they've been pampered. They're ready to go to the Great Glider Show and win a competition.
Yeah, so if I were playing my other D&D characters I have in previous campaigns we've done as a group, they'd be all over all these animals, and Adamas is what are these? How am I supposed to react?
Let's cut to Zig-Zag, Erodius, and Red.
Yeah. I imagine we're just chilling back at the boat, or maybe nearby.
Yeah.
On the shore. Zig-Zag is just sitting there, petting Red. And he'll probably speak up and say, actually, so, boss, who exactly put those chains on you?
Who put them on me?
Yeah.
Well, I'm not too sure myself, to be honest. It was a strange night. I was kidnapped. Didn't see exactly who my assailants were, but I was sold into slavery, and, well, it was certainly a
Really?
large operation.
Someone as big as you, working for someone else? That don't seem right.
There were quite a lot of them. I was vastly outnumbered, I'm afraid.
Cowards. The biggest boss should show they're the boss by being the biggest themselves, not by using other people.
And besides, I wasn't quite always this big, you know. Hard labour will certainly build the body.
You planning on finding who did it to you, then?
Perhaps. I think my first goal at the moment, though, is getting these chains off.
Well, maybe whoever put them on will know how to take them off. Maybe you could beat that out of him.
Yes, but as I said, they are quite many.
I love that you're having this conversation right now, because a boat is going to pull up near yours.
Oh, no. This seems bad.
And you hear voices and excitement and people shouting, "Oh my god, there he is!" Didn't think it would be that easy to find him again.
What?
She'll be real happy, she will.
And
you see what might be described as a couple of ruffians climbing out of the nearby boat.
And they're saying this directed at Erodius.
They're saying this to each other, and they don't care if you can hear right now. And I think they say, "Look, he's helpless. Can't do none of his magic, he's a sitting duck."
Speak of the devil, it seems they're here now, Zig-Zag.
I just love have this conversation in the background.
It seems like we...
You reckon these will know how to take your chains off?
I'm sure they do, but I don't think that's what they had in mind. We may want to...
You want me to rough them up a bit, boss?
How many are there, actually?
I think 3 lads approach.
3 lads.
A couple of them have scimitars, one of them has a crossbow. Pretty well armed.
Red has Zig-Zag has definitely drawn his weapon at this point. His bow.
What do you think, Zig-Zag? Do you think we can take them?
I think we can take them, or we'll die trying.
Well, preferably not the second one.
Just give the word, boss.
Let me have a think. How close are we to the steam vent?
As close as you want to be.
Yeah, I think I want us to back towards the steam vent, so it's
okay,
relatively close.
I predict some Looney Tunes ass shit is going to happen.
So yeah, I think they walk towards you, and you slowly walk backwards, Here, it's pointless. You're outnumbered. Come with us.
What are you talking about? There's 3 of us.
I don't think he can count, boss.
What, that little red thing? What do you think that's going to do to us?
Why don't you come over here and find out?
I will.
Red growls.
Okay, I think it's
Yeah,
initiative time.
Weapons draw.
Okay. What are they? Have they got swords as in their picture?
Yep, cutlasses and crossbows, it looks like.
Okay.
New adventure setting coming to you. CNC. It's definitely different from D&D. Okay, so it's Zig-Zag Squig Whisperer. You can
Okay.
take the first action, as I think, yeah, you're backing away towards the steam vent.
Yep.
And they're just walking towards you.
Okay. At Erodius's command, Zig-Zag will loose a shot at. Have they all got their swords out right now? Does it look like anyone's
Yep.
lining up to take a shot with those crossbows they have, or is it just?
It looks like
advancing
it looks like
archers?
one of them.
Oh, okay.
It looks like one of them has got their crossbow out threateningly, for sure.
No, I'll go for whichever one's closest with a sword approaching us. I fire off a shot with my bow. Ooh, crit.
Nice, very nice. So, for those unaware, a crit in D&D will double the damage dice
Yeah.
rolled. So you hit him good.
For 8 damage.
Nice.
And then, in preparation for them charging us, because Red is not very fast on land, and neither is Zig-Zag. So he's gonna, stow the bow back over his shoulder and draw his rapier, and, shield out ready.
Yeah. So, yeah, where do you think you hit him?
If it's not enough to kill him, I imagine Zig-Zag was definitely
enough
just
to kill
aiming
him.
for his head. But I imagine he catches him square in the shoulder or something like that.
But he's high protection.
No one's getting to boss unless you go through me first.
Yes, fine shot, Zig-Zag.
Thanks, boss.
It's fine. We'll be rewarded handsomely in the end. Get him, lads. One of them is going to return a crossbow shot.
Ah,
This will be towards Zig-Zag.
okay.
It's a botch.
Ah.
So yeah, the crossbow bolt sails past both of you and it into the air currents and just lifts into the air before smashing against a stone pillar.
Nice.
Excellent.
And the other two, I think, will approach Erodius and I think give a couple of slashes.
No. Haha, they
Oh.
both miss.
8 and 11.
Wow.
Okay, so
They should've
they
tried.
think this is going to be
Yeah.
a very easy fight because you are in chains. Now it's your turn. Do you want to describe what you do, how you avoid them, how you block their attacks?
What do I want to do? So how does throwing work in combat again?
Throwing what?
So-
Another
Yes.
creature? Or
So I think you would have to get into a grapple first.
Okay.
yeah. There is an action similar to a grapple called a shove, which is almost what you're going for. I don't think it's literally picking them up and throwing them, but you push them away from you.
Yeah, I guess my
No, I
yeah,
think
my
shove
idea
sounds
is
like
I
a
want
good
to push
idea.
them into the steam vent.
Yeah, I think
That's definitely a shove.
I think shove works the
definitely.
exact same way to a grapple in that it's athletics versus athletics or acrobatics. And if they lose, you push them 10 feet or something.
Cool. Let's go with that then.
Cool. Okay, so what you need to do is an athletics check contested by the ruffian's strength or dex.
Damn it, 11.
Ah, well, maybe they'll roll bad.
Let's see. So this will be just one of them.
Ah.
20. So no, I think you almost eat her over the edge.
I like this. This is dramatic. You're grappling it out on the edge of this steam vent.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess that's all I do. I tried to push him. Failed. I prepare for the next attack.
Alright, Zig-Zag.
Okay. Zig-Zag sees these two charging Erodius, and he shouts, "Get your hands off, boss, you zogging gits!" And he rears Red around and charges in with his rapier. As he does so, I'm gonna put Ensnaring Strike on his attack if it hits. So that'll just linger on the sword until he hits with it. Where's my rapier? There it is.
Oof, a
But I'm
24
guessing
will
a
hit.
24 hit. So yeah, he charges in at the one that you tried to shove and you got locked in almost a grapple with, and just impales him in the side with this rapier. And can it make for Ensnaring Strike? It needs to make a Strength saving throw.
6.
Yeah.
Nice.
So Erodius, you'd probably see like you're like a wizard by nature,
Yeah.
aren't you? So I imagine you definitely know magic when you see it. So like these vines like spring up from the ground, wrapping around this guy's legs. I think he's restrained by it. Yeah, so like these barbed vines wrap all around him,
Right.
and he fumbles around his legs. But Zig-Zag would just kind of shout out, "Ah, look at the git! He's tripping over his own feet."
Interesting.
I love it.
But yeah, that's what 11 damage from the attack itself.
So, yeah, how I imagine this is that they've taken a lot of damage at this point. They are restrained and kept on the ground by these vines, but I think they're dangling over the edge of the steam
Yeah.
vents. So they're like waving around in the wind like a wacky inflatable tube man.
Just regard to the damage, these are like normal sized creatures, right? Because I added a bit of extra damage
Yep.
if the creature is bigger than me, which I presume he is, because I'm
Yes,
a small creature.
definitely.
Yes, Fury of the Small, bitch.
Yeah, so I think so there's one flapping in the wind. The other two are like taken aback. They definitely want to stay away from
Yeah.
the edge. I think one of them is going to loose a shot at Erodius.
Haha. Deflected.
that'll miss.
Whoever hired these guys should have paid for better
Yeah.
goons, man. They can't hit shit.
It'll be simpler if you come with us, because we'll pursue you anywhere.
Can't do that if you're dead.
Boss has connections, resources. She'll find you.
We'll see. I have my own plans.
She'd pursue you to the end of the earth.
Well, we'll just go further.
As you say that, take a cutlass swipe.
Okay, that'll hit this time. Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, 8 slashing damage
Yep.
to you,
I've taken that. Oh, you get.
Erodius.
Uh,
I think one of these ruffians are out of combat. They're dangling upwards, dangling the wrong way
yeah,
around.
I think I'm going to go for the one that slashed at Zig-Zag, and I will reckless attack
Mm-hmm.
with my halberd.
Mm-hmm.
Is it worth raging? Just
Oh.
So you miss, but this does take them both aback, as they did not expect you to wield a weapon. You reach for your halberd. I think last session I kept on referring it to a sword. It is definitely a halberd. But you reach out and take a swipe, and they manage to dodge.
Damn it!
But you are definitely armed and
Yes.
dangerous.
Back foul fiends.
Okay.
Oh,
so...
the one that is restrained is going to take another d6 damage at the start of its turn. I'll go ahead and roll
Okay.
that if you want.
Yep.
As
roll
the,
that.
as the vines cut into him. 6 damage.
Okay, that's a
Nice.
Yikes, poor guy.
So, yeah, I'm imagining, like, it's too much. He bleeds out, and I think maybe the magic stops.
Yeah, the magic will
or something,
disappear at
and-
that point.
And then he'll just, I think, tumble into the steam vent. You got boiled ruffians coming up. I think the other two, realizing that this was much tougher than they originally thought, are going to fucking bolt as they see their companion fall into the vent.
Excellent.
Wow.
Do we want to chase them down?
Yeah, we're going after them, boss. I'm not the fastest right now, but I can give it my best.
How are your wounds, Zig-Zag? I don't want you getting hurt too much.
Oh, I'll be fine. I'll be fine. Nothing. A good bit of rest won't cure.
Very well. I guess we'll give chase.
Mhm.
I think I am slightly faster than them because I have 35 speed.
Oh, interesting.
Okay.
I wonder. So do you look like you're taking off full pelt to try and get them?
Yeah.
Zig-Zag probably like because he knows he's not as fast as you right now with Red in the current tentacly form he's in. He like pats you on the back. He's like, "Go after them, boss!" And he's gonna pop a long strider on you.
Okay, so yeah, describe what the spell does.
Erodius's speed is increased by 10 feet for the next hour.
Yeah, so I think with that you can easily catch up. So I think you can paint this picture for me, Tom. You've got your halberd. They're running towards their boat, but you catch up. Do you swipe at their legs and knock them down? What do you do?
I think I'm going to go for the one that Zig-Zag shot already, and I'm just going to try and come down on him with the halberd again.
Okay, yeah.
And yeah, I'll reckless attack again as well. Yeah!
That 21 hits. He tumbles, bleeding, onto the ground.
7 damage.
So I think one of them is downed. The other, I think, can get to the boat and get away, unless you want to chase them as well. What do you want to do?
I think I'd probably only be able to get one of them.
So they are bleeding on the ground. They are at your mercy.
Yeah, I'm just gonna shout to the one that got away, like, let this be a message, and then just bring the halberd down on the guy on the ground.
Ooh, fucking hell!
I love this.
I was not expecting Erodius to be this
He
dark.
doesn't want to be chased.
Man. Zig-Zag doesn't care though. Zig-Zag is all for it. And he'll probably like catch up with how far ahead you ran at this point, seeing the boat getting away. And he's like, do you want me to go after that one, boss? Red's a lot faster in the water, but if you think he needs to go back and tell them what he saw.
I think so. Spread fear to their heart.
Nah. Good idea, boss.
Yikes. I love this.
Oh, dog! We didn't ask him how to get your chains off.
He wouldn't have told anyway.
I wonder if that one in the steam's still alive.
I'm sure their loyalty is well paid for. In fact, they probably don't even know low-level grunts like this.
Do you know where he's going back to?
I have an idea, but probably not somewhere we can chase at the moment.
Very well, boss.
Okay, so I think we might leave it there.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that's a good point to end on. So we have Serra and Adamas making a deal with Nova, the greater glider. They've agreed to help get the people off a soon-to-erupt volcano. In return, Jet will show them where the peace fell. Cool Christmas.
Is that the first canonical murder of the season? Probably.
Yes.
Yeah.
2 murders in
Gotta
fact.
get it in early. Gotta
Yeah. Zig-Zag and Erodius taking lives.
gotta hit that check mark.
Slaying fools.
Is there no moral person in this little party?
Hey, they're slavers that are trying to capture me. I think that's
true.
justified.
Yeah, you know what? I'm up with that. Yeah. Dude, I thought you were gonna like hold him back to interrogate him and be like, "How do I get these chains?"
Oh
off?"
no, he
But I guess
knows
he was
who
a
they are
low-level
and where they're
grunt.
from.
Oh right, fair.
Like he's very much aware that people will be coming after him.
Also, those are definitely 2 of the most brutal deaths I think we've had in any D&D
Yeah, the
game.
boiled ruffian.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Gotta send a message.
Boiling on the edge while being impaled by barbed vines,
I
and also
think-
just straight up execution by a halberd.
Hey, they're lucky they didn't damage me, because then it would be time for rage.
Oh shit! Did they not hit
They
you
didn't.
once? Oh, nice.
I think Boiled Ruffian does have to be the
Yeah,
episode
I
title.
do love it. It does have a great ring to it.
Yeah.
Coincidentally, it's also the name of my ska band.
Christ. Thank you to Overclocked Remix for the music. We had Under Cerulean Skies by Earthkid, a remix of various songs from Chrono, and Final Ride by Level 99, a remix of Last Wave from OutRun. The episode artwork was by James Uren. Look out for an upcoming Degenesis campaign on the same feed if you're feeling apocalyptic. If you enjoyed the show, please tell your friends about us. It's the only way anyone will ever find out about the show, and we would appreciate it if you leave a rating or review on your podcast app of choice. If you want to support me directly, then wait until the solstice, and at midnight, whisper my name into the wind. Don't worry, I'll hear it.